I was working at a think tank, and my degree is in political science and history and Russian, so I was doing very sort of, academic things. I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do something more instead of just sitting in front of a computer and all those things. And this felt like a very hands-on, real hobby where you get something afterwards to show for it, and it just worked out perfectly. People, even folks who have been in classes that I've taught, some of them come in and they're like, I don't know if I want to do this, it's messy and it's so much work and it's just, But really, the second they put their hands on clay, some magic, some sort of a, universal magic happens. So, the first thing you do is you take your ball of clay. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Perfect. So you're right-handed and you try to throw it as close to the center of the bat as you can. So you do this.
You really mean throw it? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Are you from DC?
So I'm originally from Russia. I was born there.
From Russia?
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
and I came here as a kid, and then I lived in Baltimore County, and then I moved to go to University of Maryland, and that's how I ended up here.
If somebody wants to become a professional potter or ceramic artist, whatever they decide to call themselves, what's the best route for that? Do I have to go to art school? Do I have to pay $50,000 for that degree?
No, I didn't. And I think it's great. You don't have debt that you have to pay off. There's certainly plenty of ceramic artists or potters who go the BFA route, the MFA route, who teach. But it's such an accessible medium. I mean, really, if you want to, you can buy a bag of clay online. It'll get shipped to your door. You can buy a small kiln that you can plug into your regular outlet, and you can, at home, there's small kilns that you can do. Check with your insurance or landlord first, and you can just play. And really, I mean, if you make a pinch pot, you've made a pot. You are now a potter. So it's as simple, as easy as that. And now you put your hands down, and you're pulling.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're getting there.
Not
so you
exactly,
can see,
huh?
but you can see as it's spinning. So lift your hands gently. Yeah, that's really, really great.
Does it take a special brain to do this?
I think everybody can do it.
You think?
That's truly the magic of clay. There are so many ways that you can shape the clay. There's hand building, there's pinching, there's coiling, there's wheel throwing, you can do a million things. I know people who are in their day lives, engineers or computer scientists, and sometimes they make things that are very sort of, thought out and planned out and really kind of graphic and planned and perfect. And there are people who are just, consider themselves like true go with the flow artists, and they make these undulating forms or something very unusual and unexpected. And then there are people who, like me, who make things that are functional and that sort of combines the two, the artsy maybe glaze and the very practical design of
functional.
Exactly. There's only so many ways you can make a really good, useful cup. So yeah, I think it's open to anyone. So if you can imagine a cylinder, you just want to create that nice right angle at the bottom. So you wet your hands and you figure out where the center is, and using your weight, you just open it. And then you have an opening. And then if you need to, you can clean up the inside with your finger, just make it prettier. I like to put maybe a spiral inside.
Yeah, that's really pretty inside.
Yeah, so you can do that. And that's the beginning of your pot. Yeah, and if you cut it off right now, technically you'd have a usable pot. We are at the studio that I work out of, and it's called District Clay, and it's in Northeast DC, and it's in this beautiful old space. And it's a community studio that offers spaces for artists to work from. So there are student shelves, and these are pots, students' pots and artist pots that have been fired once. So this is bisque, so you can feel I mean, you can sort of hit it. You can tell that it's now been fired once, and it's kind of it's beginning to turn into stone. And so it's ready to be glaze fired.
Well, I see some students are more talented than others.
So there's students and artists and teachers, and there's a little bit. But yeah, there are students here who are just starting, and there are students here who have done this for a long time, and they make amazing work. It's an unbeatable feeling to make things. You start with mud. It's just stuff that you would find in your backyard, stuff that you played with in the sandbox as a kid. And then after a lot of hard work and a lot of hot temperature firings, you end up with something that is going to survive for thousands of years. It's going to outlive us all, and it's wild.